Hello, 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 my dear friends of the orderly chaos. How are you today? Well, hopefully, no rain today. That was a bit of a hectic yesterday in the life when it suddenly starts to rain and you just have to hide somewhere. That was mainly probably the reason why it went so quick yesterday, and I was talking even faster than I normally talk. Well, question that I always ask at this time of the day: do you know your birthday, your Chinese horoscope? So you may know the animal of the year you were born in, but do you know that you have three more animals which are really important on your personal path in life? The animal sign you were born under in the month, in the day, and in the hour are as important as the one that you're born under in the year. So this is why it's called Bazi, eight character or four pillars of destiny sometimes. So would you like to know more about them? Let me know in the comments if you do. And today I would like to introduce the snake to you. If you're born in the year 53, 65, 77, 89, 2001, or 2013, please be aware, this could be important for you, but please be aware if you were born before the 4th of February, you might still belong to the year before. Because with the Bazi, with the horoscope, we are using the solar calendar. And in the solar calendar, the new year every year is on the 4th of February, the beginning of spring, the official beginning of the spring in the Chinese calendar. The Chinese New Year that you may know and possibly also celebrate is the one from the lunar calendar. So different calendar, solar calendar, lunar calendar. Sometimes we have to use the solar calendar, sometimes the lunar. Why make it easy if you can have it complicated? That's just how it is. The snake itself, it resides in the southeast direction. That is important for the feng shui, and it governs most of the May. So if you're born in May, it's also an animal that's important for you. And also if you're born between the hours of 9 and 11 o'clock, because that is also governed by the snake. The snake is born under the yin fire element. So it's more a yin animal, more a bit placid and more a bit quiet. But it's a fire element. And depending on which snake you are, you will also get another element. So we have 12 animals and we have 5 elements that you can be born under additionally. So the animals are the earthly branch, and the additional element is the heavenly stem. It can be water, wood, fire, earth, metal element. So actually, we don't have just 12 animals in the Bazi, in the Chinese horoscope. We actually have 60 different pillars that are possible. And then we have 4 combinations of that. So there are really quite some, let's say, complex characters out there, and you may know some of them. So with as I always say, depending on the 4 pillars and who's in there with your animal, you have combinations, you have enemies, they have friends. For instance, a friend of the snake would be the monkey. The snake clashes pretty much with the pig, and there's a harmony going on with the rooster and the ox for the snake. So that is something to bear in mind when we're talking later about the year and the timing and all of these things. So the snake itself. Oh, I found a poem again. Um, the snake. I think, and I think some more about what is, about what can be, about what may be, and when I'm ready, then I act. And that is pretty much an awesome description of the snake as such. So the snake is born under the sign of wisdom. I mean, we probably all know that anyway. And she's quite intelligent and her mind is forever active. The snake is always planning and always looking for ways to utilize the skills. And Lord, she has a good skill set. So the snake is a deep thinker and loves to meditate and reflect. And here you can already see, because it's a yin nature, that it comes within the yin nature, the deep thinker, the meditate and reflect. But what you can also see, also, the other side of that is that I think, and I think some more. So does the snake tend to overthink things? Yes, it does. So you can see how this already relates to some of the qualities of the snake. Um, Also, what the snake is known for is the snake skins. So they will take up new interests quite easily and happily, or start in a completely different job. So shedding the skin is nothing unusual for the snake, and they really enjoy a challenge. Um, and they are really good organizers. So they are not gamblers. They like to plan things and have it a bit more secure. So they are considered the worst gamblers in the Chinese horoscope, and they're very sore and bad losers. Yeah, sorry, snakes. But all in all, yin nature, calm and placid nature, loves the quieter things. And because the snake loves the quieter things and loves to stay a little bit with themselves, they're really not good at taking on other people's advice. They'd rather stay in their head and try and figure out their way and try and figure it out their ways and the way they want. They can appear solitary and they like the solitary, but they also love to be with others and they have a good sense of humor. Sometimes a bit quirky, their humor, but they have a really good sense of humor. So the snake, with its planning and its placid nature, is really good to have around in crisis, because they will not go overboard. Like if you have a tiger in a or a or a dragon around you in a crisis, they will try to drag you out of it and to energize you and whatever. But if you are really down the spiral and energy doesn't help you, then it's probably better to have a reflective being around you than the high flyer. But that is again, to everybody else, whatever you want. As a worker and as an employee, the snake is definitely not afraid of hard work, not at all. They really dive deep into a topic and they have huge willpower and confidence and are quick thinkers. Again, they are quick thinkers. They tend to overthink. So if you keep them busy, as in, okay, what's this going on? What are we doing here? Then if you keep them going, help them going, because it's a yin nature, as I said in the beginning, so they like to keep things calm and down. If you keep them going, and then they will also keep on quick thinking. If you leave them alone, too much alone with their thoughts, because they really love analyzing and deep thinking, then they may not get as far as they could. As I said before, they are bad losers and they cannot bear failure. So if there's a failure on the horizon, they will not try to cover it up, but they will take it very badly, and they will need a shoulder most of the time. Um, yeah. Also, another thing for snakes, it's a fire sign, but yin sign. Health wise, they need to watch their blood pressure. They need to watch their blood pressure and balance in life. They need to watch their balance in life because they tend to be hard workers. And yeah, as I said, failure is not something they can um, stomach easily. So if you're married to one, or if you know one, or your best friend one, watch their health with you, because they won't see it, because they are fire. So they're always going. They will keep on going. They will keep on going until they can't anymore. So if you're a friend of them, then really watch it. And snakes have to watch their blood pressure. And if there's nervous disorder coming up, then really help them to get help. Um, yeah, yeah, that's just something that is in their nature. That's just what it is. Good. Something else. They love research and writing. They love their freedom. They make a good teacher or a personal manager, and also social advisors. The snake, it's really funny how the snake loves shiny objects and shiny things. They love buying expensive gifts for others and themselves. They love the loyalty around them with their friends, and they're sharing things with their friends. And they really have a quite expensive taste. They really like shiny things. So they most of the time they're also very good looking. So the snake is really going on really well in making friends easily, a keen socializer. but also likes at times to just be with themselves and be more resting. Resting is also something that the snake likes. It's a little bit like the animal itself, but yeah. So the snake loves the finer things in life: good food, philosophy, political thoughts. They also have a tendency towards the unknown and a little bit more occult. Um, they have a really good intuition, and some of them are actually psychic, but they probably will not call it that way because that's not something that they normally tap into. Um, the snake doesn't like to be cornered, by the way. They like to do things at their own pace, really, very much so. They can be dabblers. Again, it depends on how good you either let them dabble or you help them out of it. And that's just what their nature is. That's just how they are and who they are. And it's lovely. It's really great. So the key word here for the snake would be wise. And some of them are shrewd, and some of them are very successful with their wits, and so it can be intense. They tend towards physical beauty. Um, well, they can come across as pushy, but that's because they really, really have this wisdom, and sometimes are not that good in articulating them because, as I said, they're more researcher and writer than articulate. Yeah, there's an air of elegance and magnetism about snakes, and that makes them quite attractive. If it's over the top, they can be vain and high tempered. Um, so again, it's all about balancing, isn't it? In every of the signs, you can see how it is about balancing. And this is again the whole thing, what I said over and over again, that what I said to what told you about the snake, that wouldn't be only the case for a personality if there were just one animal in your Barca, but this is not the case. So you will be hardly find a person who's 100% like that, but who may have traits from this and that, and who may have traits different when they act with other people, with themselves, job wise, in their dreams and aspirations, behave different to their children than they do to their spouse, than they do to their parents. That is the nature of the Barca, those four pillars and those four areas where this belongs to. So always remember the heaven luck. Your Barca is only 33% of your luck. The other 66 come from your environment or earth luck. You may know that as Feng Shui, and man luck, your choices, beliefs, thoughts, behaviors, experiences, how you've been brought up. And this trinity of Feng Shui is what shapes you in all the ways that you are. So even if you're born in the year of the horse and the month of the horse, the day pillar and the hour pillar can really bring that to a totally different angle. And also depending on whether your animals are friends or enemies inside the parts and what year we have. You know, we have the year of the ox at the moment and the tiger next year. So there's a difference between the energy in ox year and a tiger year, and that will reflect on the animal on your Barca. So the Barca can tell you when it's time to change and when it's not time to change, when it's easier for you and which area to use. When is it good to change in your job area? When is it good to have a different conversation with your kids? How to treat your kids? You know, if your child is a tiger, there's a totally different animal than it's a dog, mainly. So isn't that interesting? And I think that's really important. So do you see slowly where I'm getting with this? How it has an influence in your life and how you treat other people and how other people treat you. And the more you understand that, the more you understand yourself and the more you understand how people treat you and how you treat people, and the more aware you can be of where you want to change or where you want to be treated differently by others. Because in the end, it's all about doing the right thing at the right place at the right time. And that is what the Bazi, the horoscope, the Chinese metaphysics is all about. Knowing when it's time to be where and do what. Have a fabulous day. And tomorrow we're going to have a look at the horse. Very interesting character. Very interesting character. Looking forward to that. And let me know in the comments What do you think of that? Bye.